Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Crush Your Goals with Christy podcast, the business podcast where you'll find clarity over confusion, community over competition, and the confidence to crush your goals. I'm your host, Christy Johnson, wedding photographer and online business manager dedicated to helping you build your dream business. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming procrastination. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for getting things done. Business owners everywhere, including myself, struggle with procrastination. We put things off, we don't want to do it, and a lot of times it can be frustrating. We can feel bad and guilty and maybe ashamed that we aren't getting things done. And maybe we think, oh my goodness, how can I be such a terrible business owner? I can't get this done. It leaves us feeling bad about ourselves, and it may get us in trouble with clients as well if we're not delivering projects by the deadlines. There is a misconception that procrastination is a time management problem, and really, procrastination is more an emotion management problem than a time management problem. Yes, part of it does have to do with time management, and I'm going to give you a time management trick at the end of the podcast that I think will really help overcome a lot of procrastination problems. But really, even that one is related to emotions as well. So I think that the biggest breakthrough that I have come across in terms of figuring out why I'm procrastinating and overcoming procrastination is to figure out why I'm procrastinating in the first place. Once I can answer, okay, why do I not want to do this? Why am I pushing back on this? Then I can begin to get some clarity around that and implement some strategies that will help me to get done what I need to get done. So the first thing is maybe you're confused about some aspect of the project. So if you are procrastinating, ask yourself, okay, why is it that I'm procrastinating? It could be that you're confused about some aspect of the project. Maybe you're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work. Maybe you don't enjoy the work. Maybe you haven't given yourself an incentive to do the work, or you're just not feeling incentivized. Maybe you're not feeling well, or you're just tired, or maybe you just don't want to do it. We're going to talk about all of these things in the episode, so keep listening, starting with what do you do if you're confused about some aspect of the project? This is a huge roadblock for procrastination because when you don't understand something, it's going to be a lot harder to get started, at least for me. When I don't understand what's happening, then I don't want to do it because my perfectionism kind of kicks in a little bit. So if you're confused and you're realizing, hey, I think that I'm not doing this because I don't know a certain part about this. It's just, I don't know what to do. Then break it down into actionable steps. So rather than saying, okay, I need to update my entire website, you might be like, well, I don't even know where to even start. Break it down to the actionable steps, break it down into smaller sections of, okay, what actually do you need to update on the website and where are you confused? So if you can break it down and list out the steps, then you can ask for help. You can say, hey, I actually know how to do all of this part of the project, but I don't know how to do this one specific part. You can ask for help. Or maybe if you're confused about it entirely and you're just like, I don't even know what to do at all, you can also ask for help. I would be happy to chat with you. I do offer consulting services. You can just go to ChristyJohnsonCreative.com and contact me there and we can talk about it. Ask for help to clarify the steps. Or maybe you just need to clarify it on your own. Perhaps you just haven't listed out the steps in a way that is understandable to you. So spend some time breaking it down, ask for help, and clarify the steps. Once you have that, then you should be able to move forward without procrastinating as much. All right, so what do you do if you're not confused about it, but you're just overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work? Like, it's a really big project. It's going to take a really long time. Again, the answer is break it down. So instead of thinking of it as the whole entire project, let's use the website example. Say, okay, I want to edit the about page of my website. And then I want to edit the home page of the website. And then the services page. And then you're going to want to break it down there as well because there's multiple sections of each page. There's the header. There's photo galleries, whatever it is that you have on the webpage, there are different sections. So start by breaking it down into smaller chunks, and then you can break it down from there as well. You can also just do it a little bit at a time. So instead of thinking, oh my goodness, I need to get the entire thing done, just say, I'm going to work on my website for 30 minutes today. And start with the homepage or the about page and go from there. You can also set a small goal like, okay, I want to get the heading done. And a lot of times just starting and getting started is going to help to give you some momentum so that you can move forward. It's like writing a paper, the first sentence is the hardest. Action precedes motivation sometimes. So if you just start, give yourself a small goal, and instead of saying, okay, I'm going to edit the whole website, just say, you know what? I'm going to edit the header section of the homepage. So be very specific. Or you can set a timer and say, hey, I'm going to work for 15 minutes. That's all I'm going to do. Tell yourself it's okay if I don't do more than that. Just set a timer for 15 minutes. Don't make it like an hour or something, because then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I have a whole hour that I have to work on this. Just set a timer for 15 minutes and do some work and see where it takes you. If you work beyond that, amazing, great, that's awesome. But if you just do the 15 minutes, that's fine too. You can pick it back up again tomorrow and just do it little by little. I realize that when I read a book, I approach it as I have to read this entire book in one sitting. And so I will procrastinate on reading books because the way that my brain is wired, I'm very motivated by achieving things, by getting things done, by completing things. And so I will push back on reading a book because I think, oh, I have to read this entire book. But if I can just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to read for 10 minutes, then I have a better chance of actually starting the book and then making progress from there. So if you're confused, break it down, ask for help, clarify the steps. If you're overwhelmed, break it down, do it bit by bit, set a small goal or a small timer. Now, what happens if you don't enjoy the work? This could be a big source of procrastination. If it's something that you don't enjoy doing, delegate it. If you have the option to delegate it, I highly recommend delegating the work that you don't enjoy doing, because there may be someone else out there who does enjoy doing that work. So you can help them out and give them work, support their small business while also supporting your small business. As much as you can, you should reserve your energy and your time for the tasks that only you can do and delegate other things to things that other people can do. That's going to help your mental health. It's also going to help you to make more money that way, because you can save your energy for those high ticket tasks that only you can do. If you don't enjoy the work, but let's say you don't have the option to delegate it and you just have to do it, you can bring someone else to do it with you. So call your friend and say, hey, I'm having trouble doing this. Do you want to come over and we can work together? Or do you want to go out to a coffee shop and we can work together? Or you can say, hey, so-and-so, I would love to get on a virtual co-working session with you and do some body doubling. That's a big thing in the ADHD community, is just doing body doubling to help you stay on track and stay focused and get stuff done. It's especially helpful when there are tasks that you don't enjoy doing. You can do it together. That makes it more fun. Or you can change your surroundings. Go to your favorite coffee shop. Go out into the living room. Sit outside. Maybe just stand up and move around for a while. Maybe just go take a walk for 5 minutes and then come back to your desk and do it. Changing your surroundings can really, really help. So maybe procrastination, you're confused, you're overwhelmed, or you don't enjoy the work. Maybe you just don't have an incentive. Like I said, my brain is really wired by getting stuff done, and I'm very reward focused. I like to have an incentive to get things done. So maybe set up a reward. I used to do this all the time when I had a lot of photo editing to do for clients during the busy season. I would say, okay, once I get this section done or this gallery done, I'm going to walk over to Starbucks and get myself a pumpkin sweet cream cold brew. That was the drink that I was doing at that time. So that would give me the push to say, you know what, I really want that coffee, but I'm not going to give it to myself until I get this done. If that's something that works for you, you can do that. Maybe you really enjoy swimming or bike riding or playing music or art or whatever. You can say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this much done. Again, make it achievable, make it a small, actionable step that you can actually get done, and then say, I'm going to reward myself once I do this. Or if it's a really big project, do something fancy. Go out on the town. stay overnight at a hotel, do a solo trip. If it's like you're launching a really big course and the reward is really, really going to help you to do that, then implement that reward. Maybe you're procrastinating just because you're not feeling well or you're tired. If that's the case, then it's always better to take care of yourself than to push through and do the work. It's always better to take that nap, to feed yourself, to get outside, move your body, take care of yourself. Maybe you're sick. There is nothing that is more important than your well-being. So if you're procrastinating because you're just tired or sick, then go to sleep, recover. Maybe you're hungry, eat some food, see what it is about yourself that is keeping you from doing it, and say, hey, I'm going to check in with my body. How am I feeling? How can I take care of myself? Okay. Now, what do you do if you just don't want to do it, but you really need to do it? And you're like, you know what? I don't think it's any of these things. I don't think it's that I'm confused or overwhelmed. I do enjoy it once I get started and I'm feeling okay, but for some reason I just don't want to do it. In this case, I would just recommend trying something else and then coming back to it later when you do feel like doing it. Sarah Ziesler was on the podcast recently. She talked to us about her intuitive time management system. I actually ended up hiring Sarah to be my business coach because she is amazing and really produces results for her clients. And one thing that I've been incorporating into my life since working with her is her intuitive time management system. So I actually used to teach in my courses and probably on the podcast as well, how to break down your work into time blocks. I talked about setting up your schedule and having a place for everything. I think I learned it from some book and was like, this is how I'm going to do it. This is the best. But I realized that wasn't actually working for me because I felt bad when I didn't meet my deadlines. I was constantly having to force my work into blocks where I didn't necessarily feel the energy to do that. But as creative people, we really need to go with the flow, especially as a woman. We have lower mood sometimes, higher energy sometimes, and we need to be able to pivot and do the work that is enjoyable to us because we'll see more results then. So my advice would be to try something else. Do the tasks that you feel like doing and come back to it. So what Sarah's time management system is, she mentioned it in the podcast when she was on. You can go back and listen to it. But it's that you write down everything that you need to get done, and then you just pick 3 things, and then you do those things for that day. And as far as which task to do when, you just pick. If you have a list of things, do the one that is speaking to you in that moment, and then move on to the next, and then the next. And then maybe you'll get those 3 things done and you'll be like, wow, I want to do something else. Go back to your list and just pick what you want to do. Or take a break for all I care. Whatever it is that you want to do. We don't have to be locked into these things. That's the whole beauty of being a business owner, right? We have the ability to pivot, to go with the flow. It is a really big asset of being a business owner, but also it can sometimes be a challenge. Sometimes our greatest strength is our greatest weakness. The fact that entrepreneurs have the time and flexibility to set your own schedule, do what you want to do, can be really freeing, but it can also be really difficult to know, okay, what actually should I do? Well, if you're having trouble prioritizing your tasks and you aren't sure what things actually need to get done, I want to invite you to join my Monday mindset calls for service-based business owners. These are for female entrepreneurs. Please come. They're absolutely free every single Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can sign up at christyjohnsoncreative.com/Monday. We talk about how to prioritize your tasks for the week, focusing on things that will make you money, move your business forward, bring you closer to your values, or save you time. So I want to see you there. It also involves community, which is a big thing that is helpful in getting things done when you're procrastinating. Like I said, if you're overwhelmed or you don't enjoy it, do it with someone, co-work. Okay, so come and see us, christyjohnsoncreative.com/Monday. Every single Monday, you can join for free at 12 p.m. Eastern. We prioritize, we practice gratitude, and we set goals for the week. All right, so if you are procrastinating, figure out, why are you procrastinating? Are you confused? If so, break down the task, ask for help, clarify the steps. If you're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work, break it down, do it bit by bit, set a small achievable goal or a small timer for about 10-15 minutes. If you don't enjoy the work, delegate it. Do it with someone else. Do body doubling or co-working, or get up and change your surroundings. Go to a coffee shop, take a walk, and then come back. If you don't have an incentive, see if there's some way that you can reward yourself. If you aren't feeling well, take care of yourself. And if you just don't want to do it, try something else and come back to it later. All right, my friends, thank you so much for listening. I will see you next week on the Crush Your Goals with Christy podcast. Come and join us next Monday at ChristyJohnsonCreative.com/Monday for the Monday Mindset calls. Bye.